Hi, it's Birdie. Welcome back to part 2 of our Reset Pantry Challenge. We have more video clips and pictures from our trip out west with my parents, a sampling of breakfast, lunch, and dinners, and if you want to find out how this new style of eating is going, be sure to stay till the end where I give you my honest opinion. Good morning, everybody. I have my components here for some oatmeal, not even a half a cup. I'm going to add some water and microwave it. A teaspoon of peanut butter. I really like peanut butter, so I'm going to do a teaspoon. A quarter cup of blueberries, some cinnamon, and I may add some protein powder to have a little bit of peanut butter cup oatmeal. No sugar. I have my protein powder mixed in, and this is a half teaspoon measure. So this is peanut butter. And I'm going to do a little cinnamon, blueberry, maybe a dollop of fat-free Greek yogurt. I already had coffee, but it's chilly this morning. So I have some of this left, some decaf. I'm gonna do a cup of that. Ooh, noisy. And eat my oatmeal. Sprinkle a little cinnamon yogurts there. Doesn't look like diet food. Smells good. I had a little taste. It's good. I'm not supposed to be having fat with this carb meal, but I don't have any unsweetened nut milks or anything like that on hand, so I could have tea. Not in the mood, really. This only has 4 grams of fat, 4.5 for a whole cup, and I'm just gonna put a tiny little bit in to make my coffee bearable. This also has extra protein, so that should help. And I know a lot of people aren't interested in the nutritional factors, but this is what I'm doing right now. And it's going to just be for a couple of weeks here till I can see what works. So here's my actual breakfast. And I frothed up my milk to make it creamier, since I'm only using a tiny bit. But I need these carbs today because Pappy and I are doing something, we're getting into something new, and I'm gonna need the energy to do what we need to do today. There's a lot going on here. The chocolate protein powder, blueberries, just the smell of the blueberries, the cinnamon. I'm going for flavor and volume, and this is working out. Well, it's 10 o'clock in the morning and I'm already hungry for lunch, and I think it's because of the oatmeal breakfast. When I do the omelet, I am not. And I even eat the omelet earlier sometimes. I ate a late breakfast today at 7. So I'm gonna have my last roast beef, horseradish, cheddar cheese, mustard, and pickle wrap, and I'm out of olives. I thought there were more jars in my pantry, and they turned out to be artichoke hearts. So no olives. That's sad, but I'll get over it. And I have to have sort of an afternoon snack, so this might work out better because of some activities that Pappy and I are into this afternoon. A little more strenuous than normal. And we'll have a later supper then with our leftover zuppa, and we're gonna make some mini chef salads. Supper tonight, our first course, little mini chef salad. And Pappy has his bacon bits too. The oatmeal yesterday for breakfast did not serve me well, so I am having ham and cheese omelet. Does anybody else get the jumbo eggs just to look for a double yolker for fun? Here I am, digging into my omelet without filming, like yesterday eating my soup without filming. We were really hungry though, because we were traipsing around in the woods forever. We got coffee. This is breakfast. I decided to do something a little different today and make breakfast for supper. And this is one of those meals where I guess you're gonna reduce the fat and you can have some carbs. And that's always yummy. So I have 2 lonely potatoes left, some chicken sausage. I'm supposed to have fat-free cheese, but I'm just gonna go just with a sprinkle of this. Something about completely fat-free cheese, just, I don't know, didn't appeal to me. And I have the last of our sourdough, the toaster. And instead of the egg substitute, I'm gonna do 1 yolk and 2 whites, maybe 3 whites. These are jumbo eggs, so I'll be able to tell when I get the scramble going if I need another one. But I'm saving the yolks for when I can have fattier meal. I just can't make myself throw it away. It's too good for you. And that's what I don't like about not being able to eat certain food groups. I understand the method behind this. I can even have a teaspoon of all fruit. So just a teensy bit of sugar. But I know keto works. I've seen the fat melt off of me before when I could do it. And I'm trying this, and so far my clothes fit better. So there's that. But just can't make myself throw things away. So when I have a regular egg meal, I'm gonna add the yolks back in. Oh, I'm just gonna cut up my potatoes and fry them up in just a teaspoon of oil that's in the pan, and cut up my sausages. And Pappy and I are gonna have a little bit of a breakfast scramble for supper. Potatoes look good for the little bit of oil that I used. I just cut them real small. And then we have sausage ready to go in. This is that Italian chicken sausage. Looks like I have plenty of egg, and there are 2 yolks. I don't know if I mentioned it, but the egg beaters were really pricey. I just couldn't see spending that for fake stuff, I guess. I don't know. But I used my favorite seasoning blend. I thought that would go good with this because of the Italian chicken sausage. I've got 2 left of those. And I used just a little bit of cheese. I measured it out ahead so I wouldn't go overboard. Got the sourdough ready to go down. And coming up, we're gonna have dinner with this that I picked up at a farmer's market over the weekend. It's gonna make a yummy dinner, maybe 2. My taters are crispy and my sausage is cooked. Just gonna add the eggs in, make sure they're set, and then top with cheese. Also gonna add a little more of my favorite seasoning. I'm being good because every time I open the fridge or freezer, I'm being watched. And here we have our Italian chicken sausage, potato, egg, and just a little bit of cheese scramble with some strawberry all fruit spread on sourdough. Gonna see if we can eat carbs and still feel good and weigh less. Getting ready to make spaghetti squash lasagna. I use spaghetti squash when I'm trying to go a little more low carb, and this time of year they're all around. When I did my original grocery haul, There were only organic available, so I picked this one up at a farmer's market. We also need the Italian sausage that I had cooked up, cottage cheese, olive oil, and more cheese for on top. I'm just gonna cut this spaghetti squash in half. I'm gonna wash it really well first. Cut it in half and put it in a 400-degree oven with some olive oil on it so it can roast. Well, our spaghetti squash was rotten inside. It looked perfect outside. There was this one brown spot, and it must have moved all into the inside of the squash. But I found this in the pantry. I got this a while ago. I can't remember if it was Thrive Market or somewhere else to try it, and it's been up in the cupboard. 21 grams of protein, 9 grams of fiber. We're just gonna substitute this. And I have another one up there in the cupboard right by my egg noodles and chocolate chips. So that's what we're gonna use. I have my sausage in the saucepan with these. I used stewed tomatoes because they were next up to use. I had some diced, but I just smushed these up. They'll work. Tomato sauce to beef up the expensive jarred sauce. I didn't want to use another jar. And the pasta's boiling for 9 to 11 minutes. And we have our sauce mixture heating up. The oven's preheating. Now the cheese mixture. I have 4 ounces of cream cheese, a 1/4 cup, a little bit more of sour cream, and I'm going to whiz my cottage cheese up in this little blender. I also have a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder and probably 3 teaspoons of my favorite Italian seasoning. And this is about 8 ounces of cottage cheese. And you can use ricotta cheese if you'd like. This is turning into $1 million spaghetti. I'm using those curly macaroni instead of spaghetti noodles, so we'll see how it turns out. All thanks to a rotten spaghetti squash. I'm sure it'll be good though. We're gonna build our layers. I'm gonna put some pasta down next. We have our pasta down. Now we're supposed to do half of the meat sauce, half of the cheese concoction, and half of 2 cups of mozzarella. But I don't have mozzarella. I'm going to use this cheese, and I'm just going to sprinkle it over the top since we're watching what we're eating here. Here's our first layer done. And we still have plenty of sauce and macaronis, cheese, and cheese mixture. And there it is, all assembled. Need to bake it at 375 for 40 to 60 minutes. Here's supper, our $1 million pasta. Pappies with a salad. Looks good and smells really good. I'm doing a little meal prep here. Gonna make some dip out of this yogurt and leftover cottage cheese for the cucumber. Gonna cook up some ground chicken taco meat, and because I got these out of the freezer to thaw, these are pricey, I think. So they're not great when you refreeze them. Crumble. You can tell I already did it once. I'm gonna make something else. Had to get peppers out of the garden because we had a freeze warning. So I'm going to make a chicken fajita sheet pan meal just to keep in the fridge for the weekend. And these mini romaine hearts, long lasting, they look just about how they looked when I got them. So we're gonna have some lettuce, some romaine with our tacos and salads. Here we have our ground chicken and taco mix, a little bit of onion, all sauteed together, ready to go. Oven's preheating. Chicken's cut up with the fajita mix. I cut up all the veg, the red onion, regular onion, and the peppers from the garden. A little bit of seasoning on them. We're gonna get them on the sheet pan. There's our chicken fajita mixture. I have the oven preheated to 400 and I'm going to put it in there for about 20-25 minutes. My timer's getting ready to go off. It's looking pretty good. I'd like to char up the veg a little bit more. I'll probably turn it up to 425, let it go another 5 or 10 minutes. Here are the sheet pan chicken fajitas, all steamy and juicy and yummy looking. We have our chicken taco meat ready to go in the fridge. We'll heat this stuff up over the weekend as we need it. Stay tuned to see it all pretty on the plate. From my meal prep yesterday, I have a chicken taco and chicken fajita. Sort of, kinda. Cucumbers and dill dip. And Pappy made a combo with both meats on his tortillas. And cucumbers and dill dip. So how do I feel about this style of eating? I did get to my pre-vacation weight, but because I did not follow the diet the right way, I feel I could have gotten the same results with portion control, and it would have been a lot easier. If you enjoy unfiltered vlog-style food diary content like this, be sure to like this video or leave me a comment letting me know.